All right, good evening. We're up to Ayin Beis Amid Aleph. We're in the sugya of Menachos, and let's go back to the Mishnah for a second. Ayin Aleph Amid Aleph. So the Mishnah was even you're not allowed to cut the Omer. The Frashis Ketzir, and the Omer has to be the first thing you cut. However, there were certain examples of things that you are permitted to cut. One of them we saw yesterday was the Beis Hashlachim because it's not since it's irrigated and it's an inferior quality, you can't bring it from there. We saw that a pasuk we had a stira. One said the first cutting, one said the day you bring the Omer, and we said that there's two types of what, one that you could bring it from, that has to be the first, and one you can't bring it from, that you could cut, but provided there were different shinuyim. We said, for example, if you cut it, you couldn't pile it. You couldn't tie it up. You could put it in a pile, swasim, but you couldn't tie it up. There was also if it grew between trees. It said it grew between trees, you could cut it, and we said to one or two reasons. One, it's inferior quality; it's going to be mafsed the tree, or two, it's a client problem. Like we said yesterday. In addition, if it's a mitzvah, so for example, let's say in Beis Avel, where they were in the field or learning, you'll be able to cut for that. So let's see Gemara and Ayin Beis Amid Aleph. Ayin Beis Amid Aleph. Kaitzim if they anitiyos, if they base evil, if they base a medrash, you can cut because of the trees, because of the base evil, base a medrash. My time, what's the reason? It says Reishis kitzirchem, am rachmana v'loy kitzir mitzvah. Your kitzir, that's yours for you. But a mitzvah, if it's a kitzir mitzvah, that one that you could cut. And in all these cases, the chayra, it's a mitzvah. Now, this would depend upon how do you learn the tiyos. There were two pshatim. If it's pshat, guys, if it's pshat kalayim, then it goes on all three. It's going on base avel, to Menachem level, learning Torah, and kalayim. So each three of these cuttings is for a mitzvah. But if it's like the first pshat that you're just cutting because it's being mafsid the trees and it's inferior quality, then the mitzvah is only going on base avel and what base medrash. Okay, so depending on Rashi, which pshat you're going according to, that would affect pshat in the Gemara. Says the Gemara, my time with the aval menichim tzvasim, you can't tie it up, but you leave it tzvasim, you leave it piles. My timer, the kama de efshalei tarchinon, as much as we limit as possible. In other words, we're allowing you to cut, but again, as much as again, this is we don't want you to go ahead and process it. We said you said yesterday you should not go ahead and pile it up. You may come to eat from it. Even before that, we will go ahead and you won't go ahead and tie it up. You just leave it in a pile. Tzvasim, that's without tied. Mitzvah oimer lehevi menakama. The mitzvah of oimer is to bring from standing grain. It's from standing grain, not from grain that's cut already. However, we're going to see there are provisions. Tan Rabbanan. Then takriv, the pasuk, we're going to dash in this pasuk, fellas. It's a Vayikra Beis pasuk Yadalid. V'im takriv minchas bikurim laHashem aviv koli be'esh geres karmel. We know this already. Takriv es minchascha bikirecha. Good takriv. You have two takrivs in the pasuk. V'im takriv minchas bikurim atamad loymar lefisha mitzvah sa'omer lehevi menakama. The mitzvah is to bring, it says, chermesh bekama, b'hochel chermesh bekama, right? When the beginning of the sickle bekama. So the mitzvah is bekama, standing grain. So since the mitzvah is standing grain, minayishim loy matzah min akama, how do you know if you don't find from standing grain, yavim min ha'oimim, that you should bring it from grain that's cut, from oimim, from piles? Tamid loyma takriv, takriv b'chamak, and we're going to see. Davar acher, takriv, lefisha mitzvah lehevi min halach. It's a mitzvah to bring from lach. Carmel, it said, is ripe, rachmal. If you don't find moist, yavi min hayavesh, you bring from dried. Tamid loyma takriv. Davar acher, a third pshat. Takriv, l'fishem mitzvasa lichtzer b'layla. The mitzvah is to cut at night. Minayin shem nichtzer b'yoyim kasha. How do you, if you cut it the next day, you cut it by day, it's kasha. You cut it by day, it's kasha. Says the Gemara, take out the words tamid v'doicha es Minayin shem nichtzer b'yom kasha v'doicha es Shabbos. Read that together. How do you know what that it's b'yoyim and it's doicha Shabbos? Guys, that goes together. How do you know that you cut it during the day and it's doicha Shabbos? Tamid loyma takriv. So now takriv. Why do we learn three things? Takriv means kol shehu, even from amorim. Kol shehu, not just from standing grain, but even from piles. Takriv mikol makoim even if it's from a distance from Yerushalayim. The mitzvah is to bring as close as possible. Ein ma'avirin ala mitzvahs, or we said pshat that if you're going to bring from too far away, the wind's going to blow and it's going to make it hard. A little chazara over here, right? Right? And takriv afilu b'Shabbos, even b'Shabbos takriv afilu b'tuma. That is, it's carbon siba afilu Shabbos afilu b'tuma. Okay.
We need on Shabbos. It's to Erev. It's day.
That's it.
It's the 15th on Shabbos.
Mm-hmm.
That's when you're cutting it. Right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Shabbos is the 15th. Tesayin is the next day.
You do
Well, not, I don't know. It's not Tesvav. It's
Tesayin will be Shabbos.
Tesayin will be Shabbos. Tesayin will be Shabbos.
Let's say 15th.
Yeah, you're cutting at night, right? You're cutting your Tesayin at night.
Right.
Yeah. Friday night. Cutting it Friday night, right?
Bring it Shabbos morning.
To bring it on Shabbos.
Okay,
Yeah, you bring it Shabbos after Chatzos, after the Musaf.
Right.
Okay. Niktza b'yom kasha. Okay, this is the rest of the parak, guys. The rest of the parak is the following. If you cut it during the day, is it kosher or not? In other words, we said takriv. We said it is. So you should cut it at night. But if you cut it during the day, it's okay. B'di'evet.
You're talking about the next morning now.
What?
Which day?
Look, it could. I would think the next morning. But I would say even let's say no Shabbos. It means earlier in the day. Baruch. Earlier days. In other words, I feel the bayom. Let's say it's going to Shabbos. I would with the day before. The Erev Shabbos, right? It means Erev Shabbos, right? Erev Shabbos.
Erev Shabbos the 15th.
Right. Erev Shabbos the 15th. V'tanan kol halayla kosher l'ketziras oimer. The whole night is kosher for ketziras oimer. Ulahakter chalavim ve'ivarim. And to the burning of the korbanos that were brought during the day. B'zeh klal. Davar shemitzvasei. What's the hay? Davar shemitzvasei biyoim. Kosher kol hayoim. Davar shemitzvasei b'layla. Kosher kol halayla. I just want to.
Friday morning, not Shabbos.
What do you mean? What?
Shabbos will be the 17th.
What do you?
No, cutting, we said, if you don't do it at night, you can do it in the morning. So you said that instead of Friday night.
No.
Friday morning,
Friday morning, or no. Again, it would be Friday morning because we're going to see Katsir. It's not Katsir is not Deicha Shabbos. You're going to see. It's at the end of the sugya. At the end of the sugya, you're going to see. All right. If you just quickly, Heshi brought up a point, fellas. If you look at the Tosfos, the fourth Tosfos down, Minayin Shem Niktza b'Yom Kasha, in the middle of Tosfos, V'tzarech Loimar, the Doiches HaShabbos Laba Katsira Koi Ela Hakrava. This is spoiler alert, guys. This is a spoiler alert. That Katsira, that Doiches Shabbos is going on the bringing of the Oimer. It's not going on the Katsira's Oimer. But right now, guys, we're going that Katsira's Oimer would be Doiches Shabbos. Right now, we're going, and this is the kasha. You just told me that Katsirus Hayom is Docha Shabbos, right? That's what you told me. That you can cut it during the day, and it's Docha Shabbos. We saw both things. Good? So now you tell me you can cut it during the day. So let's focus on that. So we have a Mishnah. Let's go one more time. V'tanan, kol halayla kosher l'Katsirus Hayom. The whole night, ul'achta chalav ve'varim, and burning the fats. V'zeh klal, davar shemitzvasei b'yoyim, kosher kol hayoyim. Davar shemitzvasei b'layla, kosher kol halayla. Ketani layla dum yediyoyim, ma diyoyim b'layla loy. If it's during the day, it's not at night. You have to bring a korban during the day. But yom tzavoso, if you bring it at night, it's not. It means yom. It doesn't mean night. After layla, when it says layla, b'yoyim namilo, and it says therefore you can cut it the whole night. It must mean you can't cut it during the day. So we have a stira. We have a steer between our Mishnah and this Mishnah in Megillah, right? In this Mishnah in Megillah, right? You have your steer, guys. You hear? Outside. Our Mishnah says that you can cut it you should cut it at night, but if you cut it in the day, it's okay. The Mishnah Megillah says if you cut it at night, during the day, it's no good. How do you reconcile the two? Okay. Amar Rabba, loy kasha, it's not a problem. Rabbi, that it says you can cut during the day is according to Rabbi. I'm giving you, again, a little foreshadow. Rabbi Lazar, Reb Shimon, and the one says you can't cut during the day, only at night is Rabbi Lazar, Reb Shimon. Again, Rabbi says you could cut during the day, but Lazar, Reb Shimon says you can't. You can't cut only at night. So the Mishnah Megillah is Rabbi Lazar, Reb Shimon, and our Mishnah is Rabbi, right? And our Mishnah is Rabbi. The Tanya. Haya oimed umakriv minches ha'oimer. Your person standing and is bringing the carbon oimer. Vinin mason became tameh. Now, im yesh acheres afilu b'mechuber afilu b'yoim oimer loy havi acheres tachtecha. In other words, if you have more available, guys, you have more available barley, but it's mechuber and you're gonna have to cut it. And obviously, if you're bringing a carbon that became tameh, when are you speaking? You're speaking during the day. You're bringing a carbon, it's during the day, and became tameh. So if you possibly could go ahead what and bring another one, even though it involves cutting, so obviously this man holds what? You can cut it during the day, right? Obviously this man, guys, are here? Yeah. Guys, you hear? Guys, the guys on the Zoom, you hear we're going. It became tameh. You know it's the daytime. It became tameh. If it's possible, im yesh acheres, meaning even cutting, oimeloi hava acheres tachteha, bring another one. The imlav, and if not, oimel loy havi pikeach v'shasek. Just be quiet, as we said. Takriv, guys. I feel a bit tuma. It's a carbon seber. It's doicha, right? So in other words, don't be mefarsin that it became tameh, but it's okay. So lichatchila, bring another one. Then if you can't, okay. What's the point that I pointed out to you? It's speaking that you could bring another one you can cut it during the day. That's the point.
I just had a question, but that may be only limited circumstances where you cut it before and just became tummy. If you didn't do the chachila, to go and cut it by day.
No, it's speaking right now. Im yesh acheres, meaning any possibility, even if you had it cut, and even if you didn't have it cut, even that divrei Rebbe. These are the words of Rebbe. Yes, Chaim.
When it talks about the mitzvahs of the night, the Morim and the
Yeah.
You can do that during the day also. It's also kosher by the day. It doesn't know. It's not
Right. Okay. Hang in there. Okay. Divrei Rebbe. Rebbe Lazar, Reb Shimon Oimer. Rebbe Lazar, Reb Shimon is of the opinion. Again, he's going to hold you can't cut it, right? Ben kach uben kach, meaning if the carbon became tummy during the day, whether it's available or not available, oimeloi, we tell the kohen, havi pikeach v'shasik. Why? Because you don't have the option of cutting it. So once it's gone, it's gone. And now, so you have the two opinions. You have the opinions, guys. You have the opinion of Rebbe, the day you could, and you have the opinion of Elazar Shimon, the day you can't. Shekola oimesh shenikza shloikim mitzvasai, meaning not puzzle. If you cut it at the wrong time, it's puzzle. So l'chayra, you got your teretz, right? Rebbe, who allows you to cut a carbon, with the Tanav Mishnah, Kitsira Bayoin, and the Megillah that says Dafka by night, not by day, is Rav Lazar Reb Shimon. Now, Amar Rabba Baruch Chana, Amar Rabbi Yochanan, Rav Lazar Reb Shimon, B'shitas Rabbi Akiva Rabbi Shel Aviv Amra. Rav Lazar Reb Shimon, his father was who? Reb Shimon Bar Yochai. Who was Reb Shimon Bar Yochai's Rebbe? Rabbi Akiva. Guys, one of the most famous Gemaras in Shas, Samech Beis Yevamis, right? That Rabbi Akiva lost his 12,000 pairs of Talmidim. He went to the south and he went ahead and he got 5 Talmidim. And one of them was Reb Shimon Bar Yochai, right? So now he was his Rebbe's Rebbe. So now his father's Rebbe. So Rabbi Elazar Reb Shimon holds like Rabbi Akiva, the Rebbe of his father. That nan. Klal Omer Rabbi Akiva, Kol Malacha she'efsoi la'soisle me'erev Shabbos, Ein Adoiches HaShabbos. Okay, guys, outside. One of the well-known parakim is Rebbe Elazar the Mila. Rebbe Elazar the Mila. In Masechta Shabbos, you think about Kira, you think about Boyne, but you don't think about Behemoths, but you think about what? You think about Rebbe Elazar the Mila, right? What's the Chiddush of Rebbe Elazar the Mila? Not only everyone holds the 8th day is Doicha Shabbos, Mila Bismana, Ubayoim Hashmini, Yimol B'Sar Alasai. That you should go ahead, what? Timon B'Sar Alasai, you go ahead and you give the Mila. Everyone holds that. The question is, the Hachanos, the things that you could have done before. For example, can you make a knife? You don't have a knife. Can you make a knife? Right? Says Rabbi Elazar, you could. Says Rabbi Elazar, you could. Guys, if you look, there's a Tosfos in Yud Dalet in Yevamis. It says that lichatchila they would do what their shita. They would do that. In other words, not the hills lichatchila you could do that. In other words, so you could make a knife. according to Rabbi Akiva, anything that you could do Erev Shabbos is not Deicha Shabbos. Anything you could do, you can't make a knife, you can't bring a knife. You can't bring a knife. You can't because you should have brought it beforehand. So now we're tzustelling and saying that Rebbe Elazar, Reb Shimon holds like Rabbi Akiva vis-a-vis this din that anything that could have been done before Shabbos, okay, such as cutting the oimer, right? So in other words, so you should have done it, but why can't you? Because the mitzvah is on Shabbos. The mitzvah is on Laila. The mitzvah is Laila. So that's the. So now he holds like that. What? Anything that's possible done by Erev Shabbos ain't a doichas of Shabbos. V'savel like Rabbi Yishmael, and he holds like Rabbi Yishmael. Dama kitzirus oimer mitzvah. Did nan Rabbi Yishmael oimer ma chorish rishus. This is machlokes. It says why does it say Chavisha? Is it speaking about the Shemitah year or is it speaking about Shabbos? So Rabbi Akiva says it's speaking about Shemitah. Rabbi Yishmael says it's speaking about what? It's speaking about Shabbos. Ma chorish rishus. Av kotzer rishus. Now, there's no mitzvah in the Torah, guys, that involves plowing. Any plowing is a rishus. There is no mitzvah of plowing. Av kotzer rishus. So too what? Kotzer is rishus. Yotza, that numbers. What's also to do on Shabbos, guys? A ketzira of just like charisha of rishus. Yotza, this would exclude ketzira oimer, the cutting of the oimer, shehi mitzvah. That it's a mitzvah. Okay, so now we said that he holds two things. We said he holds that anything you could do beforehand, you should do beforehand, and it's a mitzvah. Go ahead. And the mitzvah of Ketzira is Deicha Shabbos. If you're going to say like Rebbe that the mitzvah that you cut during the day is kosher, amai Deicha Shabbos. Why is it Deicha Shabbos? The katzra mi'er Shabbos, right? So you should cut it Erev Shabbos. Element of Deicha Shabbos shmamina niktzah shleik mezuzah pasal. Okay, guys, outside. We want to develop the shita of Rabbi Elazar of Shimon. Rabbi Elazar of Shimon, he says you can't cut it you can't cut it at what? At day. You have to cut it at night. We're fearing guys and we're saying the following. A, he holds like Rabbi Akiva, that what? Who's his father's Rebbe, that anything you could do before Shabbos, right? Anything you could do before Shabbos should be done before Shabbos. Good? Now, Memela, if you're going to tell me that Ketzira B'Yoim is good, the Ketzira, meaning Erev is good, then you should do it, right? Then you should do it, right? Because he holds like Rabbi Akiva. Ella, he also holds like Rabbi Yishmael, that the mitzvah what is by night. So obviously, it must be that he holds you don't have the option of doing during the day. Because if you did, you would have done it during the day. That's the shita of Rabbi Elazar of Shimon. Yes, Harold.
No, I was just going to say, in the context of bris milah, that falls out, the bris would be on Shabbos. Say also, that's the mitzvah. Oh, it's true, not every bris is on Shabbos. If the mitzvah is on Shabbos, then you should be able to do all the preparation.
Before Shabbos. Again, the mitzvah of cutting the orla is on Shabbos. The preparatory steps. Actually, it's a whole parak in Hilchos Shabbos. It's a whole parak. It's a whole parak, and we don't pass like Rabbi Eliezer. What? It's a name being in Megillah. Okay, now, so guys, you have the shita straight, right? Geschmack. You have the shita very good. Now, the Rebbe and Rebbe lav talmida the Reb Shimon. Who is Rebbe? Not a talmid of Reb Shimon. Meaning, this is interesting. Like Rebbe's right with L'chaira, he was a talmid of Shimon, as we're going to see in a second. So, if he's a talmid of Shimon, who was like Rabbi Akiva, he should also hold like this. Now, I don't know why the Gemara assumes this. It seems like any Tana can argue with a Tana, but there's something about arguing with your Rebbe. It seems to be not the best thing in the world. So what motivated Rebbe to go against Reb Shimon, Rabbi Akiva, who was since Rabbi Akiva was Reb Shimon's Talmud, and Rabbi Elazar of Shimon was a Talmud of Shimon, Rabbi Akiva, as we're going to see in a second, also was a Talmud of Shimon. Yet he went the other way. Okay? and we're going to see a beautiful Knech. Okay, so now the Rebbe Lav Talmida de Rav Shimon, who is Rebbe not a Talmud of Shimon, but Tanya. Amar Rebbe, Kishayinu lemedim Torah etzel Rav Shimon b'tkaya. That's guys. That's all you need. The rest is house money. This is what you need. What do you need? When we were learning Torah etzel Rav Shimon, that's the statement. You see, Rebbe said he was a Talmud of Shimon. Who remember? Did anyone remember what Tekaya is? The extra credit. The Ishami Tekoa. What comes from Tekoa? You're going to see that pay base. You're going to see in Menachos. Is that olive oil? That was the chelik of Asha. So Isha Tekoya, she was very mitoich sheregilim Hashem and zayich chacham v'tzui behem. The Gemara is going to say, I think it's a pay base. Anyway, says the Gemara, Hainu mailon l'shemen. We brought up shemen. Luntis and a towel, mechatza legag megag l'charf. This is Erevin, right? You had to bring in the back lots. You went to the chatza, the gag, the karf, the one back lot to another backyard. Until we got there. So again, all you needed was what? We were learning Torah. Okay, so now, Geshmak. Savala ki'idach the Rav Shimon. He holds like an other dinner of Shimon. The Tanya, Rav Shimon, ba'urei, kama chaviva mitzvah b'shaita. Go see how wonderful a mitzvah performed in its right time is. Shari hekta chalavim ve'varim ksherim kol halayla lehoyim emamtim le'mat shetechshak. Don't turn yet. Okay, this is Chaim's point. Guys, outside. You brought the carbon during the day. Could you burn the avarim during the day? Absolutely, right? Could you burn them at night? Absolutely. But why? Now, why should you be able to burn it during the day if you can wait till night? In other words, I don't have to. And the answer is, says Rav Shimon, Chaviva mitzvah b'shaita. Here it's in front of you. Right now, go ahead and do it. Chaviva mitzvah b'shaita. So therefore, even though you could wait night and avoid Chilul Shabbos, Chaviva mitzvah b'shaita. Says Rebbe Geshmak, I hold like Rav Shimon, Chaviva mitzvah b'shaita. I hold it's true, you could do it during the day. You could cut it during the day. Why? Because I hold the day is okay. But Chaviva mitzvah b'shaita, I'll wait till night. I know it's because of Shimon's other din, that's why I'll wait tonight. What's the kasha? Why is he allowing during the day? If the mitzvah is night, why is it good during the day? So we have his pshat that it's good during the day. But so then what right do you have to Mechal Shabbos? If you hold you could go ahead and do during the day, why do you do it at night? And the answer, it's a mitzvah at night, right? So is it better to go ahead and not do the mitzvah the best way, or when is the mitzvah at night? B'di'evet, if you did it the day before, it's okay. Says Rebbe, I hold like Rav Shimon. I could do it the day before, but it's not a mitzvah, right? I could use that omer, but it's not a mitzvah. Chaviva mitzvah b'shaita. Therefore, I'm going to wait to cut it at night. Good. That's his mahalach. So therefore, Reb Shimon said that, and I agree with Reb Shimon, and I have a precedent. What's the precedent? The precedent is the burning of the chalavim and the varim during the day when you could wait for night. I could wait for the Eimer also at night, right? I could wait. I don't have to, but chaviva mitzvah b'shaita. That's what he's saying. Okay, now says the Gemara. Now who? Rabbi Elazar of Shimon. I assume he knows what his father says, right? But Rabbi Elazar of Shimon, right? Rabbi Elazar of Shimon says, if you could cut Eretz Shevesh Shab, if he would still wait. In other words, Rabbi Elazar of Shimon said the reason there is no mitzvah during the day, it's only mitzvah at night. But Chaviva mitzvah b'shaita, right? Says the Gemara, Rabbi Elazar of Shimon lo shmielei. He didn't hear what his father said of Chaviva that Chaviva mitzvah b'shaita. He still would say right. He still would say that what. Rabbi Elazar of Shimon, if you could cut it over Shabbos, he would still hold you don't. Right? Why? Because it's doimel hekta chalavim. So the Gemara wants to say, Rabbi Elazar of Shimon, like shmielei, elashayni hasam. In other words, you're right. He does hold the chaviv mitzvah b'shaita. But he holds the following. He can't hold that it's good during the day, or else he won't let you do it at night.
I'm sorry, I
Yeah. Again, Rabbi Elazar of Shimon says he must hold you can't do it during the day, because if you could do it in the day, l'chayre he would not let you do it at night. That's what we put. That's what he proved, right? That's what he proved. Now, but Rebbe does hold that way, right? And where does he get it from? Of Shimon. So why doesn't Rebbe Loza get it from his father? Guys, hear the kasha. Guys, one more time. Fair rice. Rebbe holds that you could cut it during the day, and still you wait tonight.
The day before.
What?
Like
The day before. Rebbe holds if you do it, it's okay. So why do you wait at night? Chaviv mitzvah shaita. We said that Rabbi Elazar Shimon holds there must be you can't cut it during the day, and that's why it's a mitzvah to cut it at night, and that's why he said it's possible during the day. But if he holds like his father, like Rebbe does, you could still be kosher if you cut it during the day, just mitzvah the shaita to cut it at night. And the answer is, where's the source for mitzvah chaviv mitzvah shaita? Hekta chalav ve'varim, right? There's a difference. Chaim alluded to it, but there's a different connection over here. Is it possible to avoid Chilul Shabbos by Ketziras Omer? Sure, you cut it during the day. Is it possible to avoid Chilul Shabbos by the carbon? You had to shecht it during the day, guys. You had it. In other words, you had to be Mechal Shabbos initially. When you shechted it, you were Mechal Shabbos. Once I'm Mechal Shabbos, Chaviva Mitzvah B'Shaita. But by Ktziras Omer, where you didn't have to go ahead and do an Aveira, right? Says Rav Shimon, it says Reb Elazar Rav Shimon, it must be that what? You can't. And therefore, that's why you do it at night. So that's what the Gemara says right now. Let's see it in
Shechting on Shabbos.
Since you shechted on Shabbos and you can't avoid regular carbon. Hekta chalav ve'varim, regular, no tamei, no nothing.
No tamid. I'm sorry.
Carbon tamid, right? Yeah. Carbon tamid. The Musaf.
Shabbos with the carbon. You're talking about erev Shabbos for the Omer.
No, but again, you're talking about. So what's this kasha? Yeah. If you hold chaviv mitzvah b'shaita,
right.
So why doesn't he say that really you could? So during the day, right? During the day you should be able to cut it. It should be okay. Right. And the reason why you're waiting to Shabbos to cut it is chaviv mitzvah b'shaita. Right. So you be mechal Shabbos. And it's also mechal Shabbos. So the answer is they're not doma. By heta chalav mevarim you mechal Shabbos already. You shechted the carbon, right? Mashen kein ketzira. That's the only act. So therefore, that's why Rabbi Elazar Reb Shimon holds. I do agree with my father, but I don't apply it to Ketziras Omer.
I'm having a problem because the first part of it was talking about when you messed up, and you're talking about the time after you missed.
So since you can bring it during the day, right?
Right.
I messed up on the day. In other words, day is day. Here's the difference. One is speaking afterwards, one's speaking before. But once you could do it during the day, if I have to, again.
Okay, so you say
yeah. Once I during the day, so there's no difference. No, you're right.
Nothing before, nothing after.
Again, if I hold you can't bring it the day before, I hold you can't bring it the day after either. You only can bring it at night. That's the mitzvah.
Right.
That's the mitzvah. You can only bring it at night. So we're holding good, guys. So now, l'chayra, you got Rebbe has a problem, fellas. If Rebbe's source that if you can bring it during the day, and the reason why you're bringing it at night is mitzvah b'shaita. But 1 second, if your source is hekta chalav mevarim, it's not chaviv. It's not chaviv mitzvah b'shaita doesn't apply. As I read the Gemara. Elashayni hasam shari dachta shchita as a Shabbos. Okay, now ula Rebbe hachanami dachta shchita as a Shabbos. So how can you learn chaviv mitzvah b'shaita? Guys, how we doing? Good? Good? Ela kasava Rebbe Ketziras Omer loy dachya Shabbos. Rebbe holds Ketziras Omer is not dachya Shabbos. Guys, we just went 180.
Right.
We just went 180. In other words, he holds it's not dachya Shabbos. It's not. V'loy, it's not. But Tanan, v'chachamim oimrim, echad Shabbos v'echad chol misholosh hayaba. Guys, remember we wanted to publicize. Right? How many people, right? So how many people? No, at first, how many people came? We wanted to publicize. Now, why are you publicizing the Ketzira on Shabbos? It says, like Rebbe. The Chachamim Moimim Echad Shabbos ve'Echad Chol b'Shloisha b'Sholish Kupois and b'Sholish Magalois, like Rebbe. Shabbos Yom Alehem now Heshi Shabbos Zu, the like Rebbe. No, the two dots I don't understand why they're here. Niktzah b'yayim kasha v'doichas Shabbos, right? So you see that what it is doicha. Kasha, you just told me that what? Hold, it's not. It says it is. Man sham leidom and niktzah b'yayim kasha, Rebbe, v'ketani doichas Shabbos, my lav kitsira, loy lahak rava. It's talking about bringing the carbon itself. That's doichas Shabbos. Aval kitsira loy, but kitsira not. Okay, so guys, so we have a sheet, right? Sheet Rebbe kitsira is during the day, no problem. My kitsira is not doicha. We
Where's Machzor Shabbos?
What?
In the Torah, it says Machzor Shabbos.
That's when you bring it. You bring it. You bring it. You bring the carbon. Then, even Machzor Shabbos never meant Ketzira Heshi. It never meant Ketzira. It means the bringing of the carbon the next day. It never meant. It never meant Ketzira. It never meant Ketzira. Okay, so now, so where's Rebbe? So Rebbe says that Ketzira is not. We have kashas from Mishnayos, and Rebbe disagrees with those. Says Gemara, how can Rebbe say like Rav Aloiva Katsira Loiva Tanya? We have a brisa. Rebbe Omer, Vayidaba Moshe Moedei Hashem, Ma Talmud Loimar. What Ma Talmud Loimar? What is that? What is Lefi Shaloi Lamadnu Elo LeTamidu Pesach? The only korbanos tzibur that we know at Doicha Shabbos is the Tamid and the Pesach. Shnemar Behem b'Moyadoi in its time. So since it says in its time, both the Tamid is Doicha Shabbos and the Pesach is. What? This is the source, Heshi. Va'afilu b'Shabbos b'Moyadoi va'afilu b'Tumah. Shar kabbanas atziba minayin, Heshi. Shar kabbanas atziba minayin. How do you know all the kabbanas of the tzibur that doicha Shabbos? Tamad Leimar elu tasu l'Hashem b'moadechem. Now, it doesn't say anything, guys. This is the whole in Parshas Pinchas. It doesn't mention the Omer or the Shtei Lechem. It doesn't mention the Omer or the Shtei Lechem. So any other carbon tzibur, a musaf, that would be doicha, right? However, minayin l'rabbis Omer v'hakar v'imoy. There was a kevis that was bought with the Omer. How do you know that's doicha Shabbos? Shtei Lechem v'hakar v'imoy the shtei kvasim. How do you know it's doicha Shabbos? Talmud Leimer v'yidaba Moshe es Moedei Hashem hakasav kava moed l'kulam. Now the Torah goes ahead. What is kaveya? It has a din of tzibur for all of them. Lamai ilay melak rava. If you're telling guys, you have a limit for what the shnei lechem and the omer. Ilay melak rava shnei lechem b'nei akravininu. Obviously not. You're not going to be makriv them. So it's talking about preparing it on Shabbos. Good. So guys, if it's talking about preparing on Shabbos the lechem apanim, the shnei lechem, it must be speaking about preparing the omer also. Elapshita l'tchina v'hakada. It's speaking that on Shabbos it's permitted to go ahead and grind and sift to bring the shtei lechem. Udekavose gabi omer l'katsira v'kadachi as a Shabbos. That's the kasha. We have a limud, fellas. Again, we have a limud for all the karbanos tzibur, right? And in the limud we have a limud for the shtei lechem and for the omer. There's no. What are you doing with the shtei lechem? You're not bringing it. What are you doing? It must be you're preparing it. You're not bringing the omer, right? You're doing the kaimitz. It's true, but you must be preparing it. So therefore, and that's the preparation, Katsira. So you see, it is Doicha Shabbos. Kasha and Rebbe that you want to say according to Rebbe, it's not Doicha Shabbos. Loi. Take out the aleph, guys. Loi. Belihan aleph. They say loi mit an aleph. Is loi belihan. Loi oimer lahakrava ushtei lechem lafia. It's speaking about the oimer to bring it and the shtei lechem to bake it. And what's the tushtel? Ukasava Rebbe Tanner Mekadesh. At which point in time does the shtei lechem get its kedusha? When you bake it. When there's the oimer? When you bring it. So I afala may etmol. If you're going to bake it the day before, if salala belina, right? It's going to be a pasta belina. So have no choice. So guys, kit siris oimer, fellas. Kitsiras oimer, which I possibly could do before, and it's not a mitzvah. Not possibly, you have to do it before. According to Rebbe, you have to do it before. According to Rebbe, you have to do it before. Right? So guys, 1 second. Are we going to have to redo the brisa before? When it said, guys, look at Ayin Beis Amud Aleph. Something popped into my head. where do we know Rabbi from, guys? We went from the Rebbe's from the following case. Akriv mincha sa'omer v'nin mesa im yesh acheres oimer lo hava acheres tachteha. Oh, that's very good. You can cut it because Ketzira is not like a Shabbos. Oh, this is not speaking on Shabbos. It's not speaking during the day. Okay, very good. Not a problem. Okay, good. Good. I'm glad. Yeah, it's during the day. It's during the day. What?
But it's a malach, it's a John Yontif, it's the
Right.
same malacha. It's
So
a problem. That's right.
it's a lav.
The lot.
It's a lav to cut it, right?
What do you mean, you would be allowed to?
You can't cut wheat on Yontif.
Maybe we
You
only
want to use the wheat.
no. Maybe it wouldn't be mechuber.
Shlish.
If it's not
For
mechuba,
other-
then
if it's not shlish,
if
and
it's
it's
not,
not mechuber.
if it's not mechuba, then it's not a
Sure.
problem for Rabbi Elazar ben Shemanida.
Well, then it could, even if he holds it b'nei adam, you would be allowed, maybe he's on a shlish.
No. He's okay. Anyway, let's see. Okay, so we asked the kasha, guys outside. We asked the kasha, what was the heter for the oimid? Just like the shtei lechem, the heter was to prepare it. So too, it must be the oimid katsira. And we're answering no. We're answering the preparation is baking. You're able to bake it on Shabbos. You have to bake it on Shabbos. So therefore, you don't have the tushel to katsira. Why do you have to bake it on Shabbos? It's because if you baked it Erev Shabbos, you'd have a problem of lina. If it goes over Erev Yontif, you have a problem of lina. Fred Gemaru Kasava Rebbe Tana Mekadesh. Now, see, okay, Kasava right? Vatanya, and this we just had before, guys. Kivsei Atzeres, Ein Mikachem Es Alechem. The Kivsei Atzeres, they're not Mekadesh the Lechem, Ele B'Shchita. There's your kasha, guys. Guys, what does that mean? It's not the afia, it's not the baking that makes it kedusha. It's the shchita of the kivsei atzeres. Ketzat shachtan lishman b'sarkan damin shalishman kodesh alechem. Shachtan shlei lishman b'sarak damin shlei lishman loy kodesh alechem. Shachtan lishman b'sarak damin shlei lishman alechem kodesh ve'ina kodesh. We had that earlier. Divrei Rebbe. These are the words of Rebbe, but you see Rebbe is kodesh partially. Right, so you see that there's your problem right there. You see it's the act of what shchita, not afia. From really, guys, you know when it gets kaddish? It gets kaddish when you bake it in the oven. What does it mean over here? You shecht it at that right, it's kaveya. You won't be able to use the shtelechem for another carbon. Let's say the kivsei atzeres died. You won't be able to use it. You have to go ahead and bring new ones. In other words, the zika, the combination that is created is through the shchita. And therefore, the kedusha it had already before when it was baked in the oven. But the relationship that it's what, that you can't use it for anything else, hukva, it's set at that time when it's shechted lishma. Okay, that's the time. Hajalech Rabbi Yishmael, Hajalech Rabbi Yishmael, Hajalech Rabbi Yishmael. Shma kaperet. You have a siddha. Say something. Tehillim, like a kapitel. There's weddings tonight.
Good.
Huh?
A lot of weddings.
Well, getting it in.
Notice the commonality about all the people not going to weddings.
I'll be there tomorrow night. Unfortunately.
I'll have to mention. Should I call Eddie?
Weddings.
Should I call Eddie?
Eddie, you want to go with us?
Take a picture, like,
Eddie's still waiting for me in Newark.
it had it in Israel, why you did.
Shem is Mali Asaf. Elohim al dami lach al techrash v'tishkadel. Kihinei v'chayeh moyne v'snecha nasiraish. Al amcha yari musa v'yisatzu al tzvanecha. Amaru l'chu v'nachidim yigai v'lei yisach Hashem Yisraelod. Ki newatz alei v'yachtav alecha b'sichraisu. Ahalei edom v'yishmelim v'yavagrim. Givol v'amayin v'malek peleshus m'yesh v'yitzar. Gama shenil v'imam hoyes v'yalefim leitzela. Asay lehen ki midyon kisesach yavim melach al kishon. Nishmedu v'ein dar hoy demen l'adama. She say my nidivei my karei b'chizei b'chizeva chukasamen akon l'sichei my. Asher amaru nishalanu esnais elahim. Elohai shisem echaka gal kakasha veiruach. Keish tivayoch lavat lahidarim. Kain tir defem b'sarach u'b'svas chas v'alei. Malei fnehem koloin v'vakshu shemcha Adonai. Yivoshu v'yibalu adi ad yachru v'yavedu. V'yedu ki atot shemcha Adonai v'achenu kol haaretz. Achenu kabeis Yisrael. Hanasunu matzar b'shivya. Hom dim bein bayom v'bein bayabasha. Hamakom yirachem aleim. Yitzem Yisrael l'rachom me'afelu l'yayra. U'mishibi l'gula. Hashta baglas hakriv. And Amen. Have a good night.
Thank you.